can either confront your dark shadows now or let it devour you later. Because at the end of the day, power doesn't corrupt, it just reveals. And if you haven't done the work, what it reveals will destroy you. So before we talk about becoming Christ, before we talk about the sacred tea, before we talk about divine power, we need to talk about you, your wounds, your archetypes, your shadows, because no man is ready for the throne until he's nailed before his own demons and then crucified. The exception, Marcus Aurelius, and the paradox of the Holy Empire. The saying absolute power corrupts absolutely would be true if it wasn't for some men who defied the rule. Let me show you a man who didn't fall, a man who held absolute power and yet remained absolutely restrained. In a world where kings worship their own reflection, he chose to kneel to something higher. His name was Marcus Aurelius. And if you already know him as a Stoic philosopher, you've missed the most important part. Marcus Aurelius wasn't just a writer of wisdom, he was an emperor of Rome, the most powerful man on earth. Let me explain what that means exactly. As an emperor, Marcus held absolute military authority. Every legion answered to him. He could raise armies, declare wars, crush nations without permission or consequences. He also held supreme legal power. There was no checks, no senate to override him. His word was law. He could execute a man with a glance or spare his life with a whisper. And even beyond that, he was also Pontifex Maximus, the highest religious authority in the Roman world, the bridge between gods and men, the spiritual leader of a vast and pagan empire. So in short, Marcus Aurelius had what every dictator, every narcissist, every insecure man in history dreams of: total control. And ask yourself, what would you do with that kind of power? Would you indulge yourself? Would you silence your enemies? Would you rewrite reality to suit your own comfort? And most men would. Most kings, most emperors, most billionaires do. That's what happens when the crown lands on the head of an uninitiated man. But Marcus, he didn't crown himself, he crowned duty. Instead of indulgence, he chose discipline. Instead of self-worship, he chose philosophy. Instead of tyranny, he chose restraint. He lived simply